I think one fundamental aspect is, at least one fundamental problem we are trying to solve is it possible to get youngsters into farming? That's the question we are trying to answer. That's what is Akshayakalpa all about. Farmers know farming is not viable. That's the reason they don't want their children to be in farming. So that's where I see the challenge. Today, the milk production systems in the country, they are a little bit lopsided. No dairy farmer makes money, though we are the biggest milk producers in the country, because the unscientific dairy practices and where we don't understand how to feed a dairy animal, how to get more productivity of a dairy cow, and of course the land. So those things are missing. At an average, Akshayakalpa farmer, average, we pay 100,000 rupees per month as a payment to each of the farmers for the produce. So that is a change what we have bought in. And farmers who started with 5 years, 6 years back, they earn 3 lakh to 4 lakh to 5 lakh rupees on a monthly basis. That is a change what we have bought in to entire farming ecosystem.
हेलो एवरीबॉडी, वेलकम बैक टू अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ दी क्लाइंटरप्रेन्योर शो। आज के एपिसोड पे हम हैं शशि जी के साथ, जो फाउंडर हैं अक्षयकल्पा के। ये एपिसोड हमने रिकॉर्ड करा उनके फार्म में, कर्नाटका में, तिप्तूर में। एंड इनफैक्ट हमने एक स्टोरी भी करी जो आपने इंस्टाग्राम पे हमने पोस्ट करी है, यूट्यूब पे पोस्ट करी है, कि उनके फार्म में कैसे वो लोग मिल्क, कर्ड, हनी, घी ये सब बना रहे हैं, कैसे उन्होंने R&D फार्म सेट करे हैं फॉर डेयरी फार्मिंग एंड फॉर लाइक वेजिटेबल्स वगैरह ग्रो करने के लिए, जो फार्मर्स वहाँ से सीख के अपने खुद के फार्म्स में इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं। एंड विद शशि जी, लेट्स लाइक रियली एक्सप्लोर दैट उन्होंने कैसे अक्षयकल्पा को स्टार्ट करा, कैसे इस्टेब्लिश करा, उन्होंने क्यों, और इंडिया में फार्मिंग किस तरीके से इवॉल्व कर रही है, डेयरी फार्मिंग कैसे इवॉल्व कर रही है, क्या स्कोप है, क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं। आई एम श्योर आज का एपिसोड काफ़ी इंसाइटफुल होने वाला है। प्लीज़ डू एन्जॉय टुडेज एपिसोड एंड लेट मी नो इन द कमेंट सेक्शन कि आपको आज का एपिसोड कैसा लगा। हेलो सर, फर्स्टली थैंक यू फॉर हैविंग all of us at Akshayakalpa. Like, I genuinely enjoyed the experience and thank you for building like such a beautiful farm. So, sir, let's really start with firstly, like, how would you define Akshayakalpa today? Say, if there is someone who doesn't know about Akshayakalpa at all, so what is Akshayakalpa today?
I think thank you very much for coming down to such a remote place. Not many people come in here. And we are around 150 kilometers northwest of Bangalore, a very remote place, a remote village, I should say. So there are a lot of aspects associated with Akshayakalpa. I think one fundamental aspect is, at least one fundamental problem we are trying to solve is it possible to get youngsters into farming? That's the question we are trying to answer. That's what is Akshayakalpa all about. While our farmers get engaged, but young people are not turning into farming, we are trying to answer questions why. Is it possible we can get young people into farming? That's the work what we are doing last 14 years. That's how I would probably define what Akshayakalpa is doing today.
And why are you doing this today? Like, what's the significance of it? And where did you see the challenge, the problem in?
We need to really understand, actually, in India is a very young country. Average age of an Indian is around 28 to 30 years. Right. And average age of an Indian farmer is 50 years. Now in 20 years, you would see aged farming population, so around 70 years of age. And especially in Indian context, land holding is very small. And if you don't prove models where the smallholder farming is viable, I definitely believe that in 20 years to 30 years, maximum 50 years, there will be no young population in farming. That's where I see is a big challenge. And a great example is myself. Born in a farming family. My father is still a farmer, but I never became a farmer. I became an engineer. You should ask the question why. I'm not an exception, or I'm not an outlier. It's entire Indian, village population right now wants to move out of villages. So that's the fact. And no farmer is encouraging his son to become a farmer. I was a good example. My father never encouraged me to be a farmer. He always wanted me to be an engineer, because there's a good engineer out there making a lot of money. And farmers know farming is not viable. That's the reason they don't want their children to be in farming. So that's where I see the challenge. Is it possible to solve this conundrum of getting youngsters into farming?
I would really like to understand like the Indian farming landscape, A, from the dairy farming perspective, and B, from, like the other perspective as well. Because India is an agricultural country, we call ourselves the milk powerhouse, but still we face malnutrition. Our farmers, we are the food basket for the world. But after even being after the food basket of the world, you're saying that our farmers are suffering. So I would really like to understand from you, like the Indian farming landscape. How does it look like? The challenges associated in this landscape today.
See, if you really look at a very high level, let me say, planner's perspective, government's perspective, 15% of our GDP is farming.
Yes.
60% of our population is in farming. So what is government is trying to do from a statistical point of view, there are a lot many people in farming than its commensurate GDP output. That's exactly how we are trying to equate and form all our policies. Structurally, all our policy systems right now, they are aimed towards taking people out of farming. Can we put them in service industry? Can we put them in, towns and cities where they can do a decent livelihood? There's a fairly decent planning, in my opinion, from a government point of view. But if you go a little bit deeper, I think it has challenges. For example, I don't see, any program where, we are going deeper into villages, telling a farmer to do better farming. You go to a village and tell how to become a good call center agent where you can earn 25,000 to 35,000 rupees. You see a lot of courses running there, and you want them to be a good typist. Maybe they can earn 25, 30,000 rupees, where it is not possible in farming. So that is a very, very high level, view of Indian farming right now from a policy point of view, what is happening. But if you really look at a ground level, in Indian farming, traditionally, there is a landlord where you own the land, and there are people, who worked for the landlord. That's exactly how the support systems existed, in the country. What happened? Landlords realized, landlords in the sense people who own land, they realized farming is no more viable. They left farming, or they are leaving farming. Now, people who are dependent on that farming, on that landlord to give labor, they are also lost labor now, because landlord is no more farming, and there are people who are dependent on, we call them as sharecroppers. They lost their sharecropping, and they also lost their livelihood. And it is technically what we are trying to say is exodus, from villages towards the cities. It has been a little bit of a force, but nobody tells it has happened, but it is happening. So at a ground level, this is what is happening. And there, of course, there are a lot of segments, within, this agricultural landscape. One of the segment is dairy, where we are the biggest milk producers in the country. Today, the milk production systems in the country, they are a little bit lopsided. No dairy farmer makes money, though we are the biggest milk producers in the country, because the unscientific dairy practices and where we don't understand how to feed a dairy animal. And we have been following certain things. We continue to follow that. And there is no education system put in place, handholding of the farmer put in place to how to get more productivity of a dairy cow, and of course the land. So those things are missing. In this context, what's happening is it's a big, people are leaving farming. We are the biggest milk producers, and milk production systems where at a farmer level it is not viable. So this is where the bigger landscape, in the country right now. We need to really think through how to solve this. Starting from retaining people in farming, getting youngsters into farming, and of course, making farming viable. And dairy also, we need to really think how to make it viable, especially a smallholder dairy farmer.
When we talk about dairy farming, like you obviously know better than what I know. How has historically dairy farming evolved in India? There were times when people we had fresh milk. Like I haven't seen that time, but what my grandparents have seen, and then we had all this milk that's injected with hormones, antibiotics, and now we have another shift where again people are moving towards organizations or brands like yours where we have pure milk. So please share with me this this change in the dairy farming industry in India. I think someone told me that there was a time when people used to drink milk because milk was cheaper and they had to do a lot of labor work, so it used to give them a lot of energy. So please talk about that. And also, did British rule had an impact on India's dairy farming industry?
See, traditionally, this is how the dairy is organized in the country. Traditionally, if you go up 100, 200, 300 years back, if you go, animals were integrated to farming. For example, if you have got a 3 acre of land or a 5 acre of land, you had 4 or 5 animals. So what is the job of an animal? If you really look at, there are a lot of elements in farming ecosystem. One thing is labor. Animals were used as a labor for drought purpose, for plowing, for moving, various things. animals were central to, that ecosystem. Okay. This is, I'm talking of 100, 200 years back. Second part was animals also were giving a great source of protein and fat. For example, cows would then eat grass, which is a cellulose, which is useless to us. We can't do anything with grasses, but they will eat grass and they will give milk. Milk has protein and milk has fat. So this is exactly how the dairy ecosystem existed, where animals were integrated into farming. But over a period of time, what happened was we started mechanizing. In the process of mechanization, dependency on animals, to do, let me say, labor, that is drought, really was broken. So then what happened was we started looking at a dairy, as a means to, income. So then what happened was we started bringing in external components in doing dairy. For example, concentrate feeding. We never taught farmers, that animals can be fed from what is grown in his own farm rather than getting, external inputs, into dairying. When this process came in, the entire system where a dependency on animals to do labor at the farm, and also those animals were giving enough protein and fat for farmer to consume. Now this dairy has become a commercial entity where it is no more integrated to farming activities. It is taken outside of a farming. That is where the entire problems, right now you are seeing in the dairy ecosystem happening. The moment you take animals out of farming, started looking at milk alone as an entity, that is where the problem starts. So you start looking, at animal, how to, let me say, hormones, getting into antibiotics, getting into tie stalling, tethering, the land issues, whole conundrum of problems will come in and finally show up in the milk. That's what is happening, in the dairy industry as of now.
And how do we improve this industry? Like, for example, in my own area, like in Delhi where I live in, I also see like a lot of cows just roaming around on the roads. They are eating all sorts of, things which they shouldn't be eating, like, so what can be really done? And there are people who take milk out of these cows. Similarly, we have seen stories on social media where bigger corporations, they have exploited the animal, like the cow, and they have just left that animal on the road. And the way that animal is, you cannot even view it. So that's happening. Similarly, on the other side, a lot of, debate. I would not call it debate, but a lot of concepts of veganism is evolving, where today we have soy milk, almond milk. What are your thoughts on this thing?
Okay, let's talk of what can we do with the current dairy industry. Can it be done different? Yes. The way we should look at dairy industry, dairy as at a farmer's level, is farmers, of course, has a requirement for a cash. He needs to have money at hand. Milk should give you the daily cash for him. And the dung, which cows produce, should be used, at a scale to make very good manure so that soil can be managed. So we need to create, these closed loop systems. Now you have got a very good soil. You grow what are the crops required for us to, take in. All the crop residues, everything becomes a cow feed. So then again, cows are going to give a little bit more milk, which is market facing or a protein or a fat. Then you make a manure. Then you produce a crop, then feed it to the cow. These are the closed loop systems we need to create in farming. I'm taking dairying as an example. It can be talked, same thing can be at the backyard poultry. It can be talk of a beekeeping. Very similar systems can be thought through. But that aspect has been forgotten. Now, the way we are doing dairying, we are right. A lot of cows, roaming here and there. We are trying to produce milk, by not feeding cows better. Today, for example, if you really go and look at a conventional dairy system, we don't even feed clean water to cows. I believe if you don't drink that water, you can't drink that water. Cows should not drink that water. So the cow care needs to take a precedence, and they need to be integrated into farming activities. It is mandatory. That is one part of it. Second part of it is you raise a question of veganism. So there are certain set of people, they believe the veganism. I think we should respect that. But the way we should look at from an economics point of view, let me take almond milk as an example. 80% of the almonds are grown in California and US in the world. How environmental conscious decision it is to take an almond milk when the 80% of the almonds in the world are grown in California, and you're sitting in India and drinking an almond milk. See the impact on environment, how much miles it is transferring. So irrespective if you're a vegan or otherwise, let us start thinking local. What is locally produced is very, very relevant. Dairy is one such a great mechanism to have an access to proteins, okay, at the least cost, okay, is what is dairy is all about. It is local. The entire most of the milk in the country is locally produced and locally consumed. That's exactly what we should really look at. Veganism, yes, okay, we need to respect, okay, those choices, but can we localize that also? Drinking almond milk against a dairy milk is not a veganism, in my opinion, because you are moving in the direction exactly opposite to like environmental conscious consumerism. Trying to get an almond milk versus a cow milk, it is not going to solve the problem. And if you really look at a protein composition of an almond milk or an oat milk or any other alternative to a dairy, okay, protein composition, they are almost 1/5 of, okay, what can dairy give. Dairy is a holistic, wholesome food.
So then would you say that we have changed the definition of dairy? Like, because we have over exploited it, our practices weren't really nice. So, what I really like, because before this podcast, we had like we visit the R&D for the dairy farm. And there, like, they showed us how the cows were feed, like, they gave them like clean water. And that water also had like a specific temperature. Then the way, they placed like sea salts just for them to sharpen their scales on the tongue. I really like the amount of depth, the amount of knowledge you've put into it. So please talk to me about different aspects of Akshayakalpa, like how you're doing, what you're doing. I also know that you have this R&D vegetable farm where so many different kinds of vegetables are grown. Please take us through that.
See, right now, what we believe, okay, is we need to really relook at dairy as such, and farming at a holistically, we need to really relook at. So in this 24-acre research and development facility, what we are trying to do is we are trying to redefine farming. So how you do greens and vegetables, how do you grow fodder, how do you look after cows, how do you look after calves, how do you feed cows, what do you feed. That's the entire, okay, thing we are redefining. And we are collecting a lot of data, okay, in this process. For example, starting from cow housing, okay, access to water, to how, let me say, pregnant animal to be fed, okay, versus a dry animal to be fed, or a milking animal to be fed, calf to be fed, okay, local breeds. For example, you saw Hallikar and Amrit Mahal. We have done a lot of research, okay, in and around that. With this as a package, our learning, what we are trying to do is we are taking this entire thing to farmer. Hey, this is what our learning is. Can it be taken to at your farm level? Can it be practiced? Okay, in an economical manner, where environmentally conscious. Okay, you're not bringing anything from outside. You're trying to grow your own thing, trying to feed animals. Second part is greens and vegetables. Okay, the research, what it is going on here is it possible to produce, okay, greens and vegetables with a smallholder farmer in a profitable manner? This is the 6th year of research which is ongoing, where we are collecting host of data in terms of per square feet productivity, how much we are growing, how much water it is taking, how much income we are earning, okay, from that greens and vegetables production. These entire things we are making a package of practices, okay, and trying to take it to farmers so that farmers also can practice this, okay, and earn substantial money out of this.
That's nice. And when we talked about, say, the cows, so can you give me like some insights on the indigenous cow species, like maybe what your insights and knowledge is about that particular? So I'm going to give you the names of some Indian and Indus Valley cows. So say let's start with Gir.
You see, Gir is an amazing, okay, indigenous breed. Okay, she has been a ranger. Okay, ranger is like, she's like a goat. You cannot tie stall her. You can't tie and feed her. Okay, she has been, okay, in and around Kutch region, and amazing indigenous breed, is a good milker, but extremely emotional. Without the calf, she doesn't let down the milk. Okay, there are challenges
Really?
like
That's
that.
there?
Yeah, she's extremely emotional, and you can't feed her by tying. She's a ranger. You have to allow her to go and graze and come back. There are a lot of people have tried tie stall feeding of a Gir. It is not working out. So there are challenges like that. Very similar to Sahiwal, amazing breed, amazing milker. Okay, amazing indigenous breed, good milker. Okay, she has got its own challenges. Okay, it requires, okay, in and around, okay, Rajasthan, okay, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, that's the breed, okay, in and around some parts of Uttar Pradesh. But can it adapt to throughout the country? There are, okay, question marks, okay, on that part. But can we make it adaptable? Yes. Okay. For example, in our area, our local breeds are Hallikar and Amrit Mahal. We are doing a lot of work on breeding of Hallikar and Amrit Mahal in farmers' place. Kadur, okay, is Chikmagalur district, okay, Kadur Talukin and around that. We do a lot of work on Hallikar and Amrit Mahal. The importance of the question you asked is, why local breeds? Okay, they are relevant. See, they are environmentally adaptable.
Right.
Okay, that germplasm, okay, retaining that germplasm is critical for sustainable farming. So this is very, very critical. But we should have 100, 200 years vision to make sure they become good milkers. Currently, that system doesn't exist in the country. Maybe we need to make an attempt to preserve these local breeds at farmer places and make it economically viable for him so that he can rear these local breeds.
And so what after, like, for example, like every cow would have like a milking period, like they could milk up to a certain amount of age. So what does the farmer do after that point with the cow?
So generally what happens in India, okay, is the end of productive this one, it actually go to abattoirs. It goes to a meat industry. So you need to really understand why it is happening. For example, let us assume 14 to 15 years, sometimes 17 to 18 years, cow can live. Okay. Why it happens? You need to ask that question, why they go to abattoirs. Because we are not taught farmers how to maintain the cows in a productive manner so that you need not send, okay, to abattoirs. For example,
So is it possible that we would never send our cows to these centers?
See, there are two parts to it. One is emotions part of it. Second is economics part of it. Okay, the farmer, the way he looks at it, he needs to really look at economics part of it. If the cow is not productive, why you should keep it? That's a question farmer gets asked. There's the emotion part of it. Okay, can we stop sending it to abattoirs? The way we should really look at is question of male calves. What do you do? Okay, for example, what we have done is, you would have seen a lot of male calves, okay, in our research and development facility. We are trying to really reinvent farming. Where can we get them to work in the farm, where farmers will maintain them, okay, because they are, okay, solving his labor problem, going 100 years back, okay, into farming. But it's very tough, okay, in availability of tractors, etc., to do this one. There's a challenge. The second part is milking cows. Okay, what happens to them after end of life? Generally, fourth calf, fifth calf, afterwards, generally they sell off, okay, to abattoirs. But if you maintain them, for example, if you maintain the systems like what you saw, they are never tied, never tethered. The feed and fodder is available 24/7. Clean water is available always. Actually, their productive life can be 15 years. So that's exactly how we should make these changes. Rather than looking at an abattoir as a problem, but can we change the management, okay, to give them a better life? Okay, that's exactly what Akshayakalpa is doing. Cow care actually takes utmost precedence in our thought process, be it in R&D or be it in our farmers. That change actually is what the emotional aspect of taking care of the cow with a better management.
Yes.
Okay, rather than saying, can we not send it to abattoir, but we need to find a solution for it.
True.
So that's the reason I believe the veganism is taking this one into a little bit extreme. Okay, where you say, no, I don't want to take dairy, but we need to really go and solve the problem for a farmer rather than just saying, no, I don't want to be part of the dairy ecosystem.
And solving the problem for the farmer would be to empower him or her with the tool sets, with the knowledge, like basically with what you are doing. Like, I really loved when you said this thing to me, that farming is a design. And the way you were just showing me that, see, pepper is grown in so and so, tropical and coastal areas like that, but the way you have grown it here. So please talk to me about some of these things, like which you have at Akshayakalpa, for example, the pepper example, the avocado example. And like the idea with this is that we can showcase people that farming, when done right, can really show wonders. So please share some of those examples.
See, the way you look at a farming as a design is, you should look at it as a kite. Kite has got 4 corners, okay? It is very well balanced. To fly that kite, no, it needs to be balanced.
Yes.
Okay, if one corner is not there, it won't fly. Okay. So what are those 4 corners of, okay, let me say farming? Let's define. So one part of the farming obviously is economics. Economics needs to be there in farming. Second aspect, okay, in the farming should be technology. Okay, we need to have, okay, mechanization, okay, scalability,
right,
good data collection systems, etc. But other 2 fundamental aspect, okay, one aspect is, we call it as ecology. What is ecology? Good soil management is ecology. Microbes in the soil is an ecology. Tree integration into farming is an ecology. trenching and budging, saving rainwater in the farm is an ecology. And diversity is a fourth quadrant. Diversity is you got milk, you got pepper, okay, you got banana, you got backyard poultry, you got greens and vegetables, you got coconut, you got whole lot of diversified economic outputs, okay, coming from the farm. If all of them are balanced, okay, the kite flies. But what happens in a conventional system is you stretch the economics. You need a lot of money, but with a lot of technology, you would like to earn that money. For example, you want to put a lot of manure, chemical manure, and get a better economic output. Okay, you want to put huge tractors, okay, and mechanize that one to get economic output. You're stretching the kite, okay, in a technology and economic dimensions, but you forgot diversity and ecology. Therefore, kite becomes imbalanced over a period of time. For example, Vidarbha farmers, example of farmer suicides can be beautifully explained with this kite. You gave them a great seeds. You gave them a GMO seeds to grow cotton, okay? And you gave a lot of inputs to grow cotton, to earn more money from cotton. Farmer kept on borrowing more and more money to give those inputs and earn that money. You stretch the technology of seeds, you stretch the technology of economics, but absolutely no diversity in the farms. It's only cotton, okay? No diversity. Ecology, you forgot the soil, okay? Putting so much chemicals into the soil. So therefore, they got into the doom loop. It is called doom loop of farming, where they are not able to earn in a sustainable manner. There's no diversity in the farm. If the crop fails, he is in debts. So you saw, okay, where vegetables we are growing. Why so many vegetables in a small area? We need to really foolproof farmers, okay, from market, environment, weather. There should be multiple crops diversity. Ecology, we need to learn to make your own manure, take care of the soil, build very good, okay, rainwater harvesting systems. So we need to really get into these aspects. So farm as a design is a kite. You need to design with all the four quadrants properly, okay, balanced. So that's exactly what you saw in this R&D. Okay, we have diversified extreme amount of diversity. Amount of trees we are growing is huge. A lot of people think growing trees in a farm is counterproductive. I don't agree. So for example, you saw, okay, silver oak. Okay, in the middle of a silver oak, okay, has got a pepper. Below that, we have got a growing growing vegetables. Okay, growing, okay, leafies. Okay, growing, let me say, pomegranates. Okay, growing, okay, various things associated with the farming. That is what is required. Okay, if you take, okay, this ecosystem, what we have in here is plains. We can't grow pepper. But what we did was we grew trees, created a microclimate, started growing peppers. Okay, below that, okay, you see tapioca. Okay, below that you see sweet potato. So below that you see, okay, a little bit of a cardamom, below a little bit of a ginger, below a little bit of, okay, let me say, various aspects like this we integrate and try to make that kite balanced, where economics is important, but diversity is the key. Okay, we need to make sure ecology is taken care and proper technology is put in place to manage this kite.
So when was exactly like when monocultures were introduced? Like, I don't remember exactly, but while we were in school, we read this thing about indigo. So, during the British rule, when farmers were asked to grow indigo, and that is my understanding, and like whatever in memory I have, that after that point of time, because farmers were doing just indigo, like usse pehle they had multicultural, like different crops, but then indigo came in and people told that it's more profitable and stuff like that. But I might be completely wrong on this as well. But what are your thoughts? Like, when this monoculture thing started in India?
See, the monoculture is a fairly a Western thought.
Right.
Okay, for example, how the Europeans did farming. Okay, how the Americans did farming.
Is European model of farming successful?
See, over a period of time, they realized the monoculture farming, okay, it is not, okay, scalable. So for example, they grew, okay, wheat, okay, at a scale, okay, thousands and thousands of acres. Okay, they grow the maize, thousands and thousands of acres. We never had these kind of systems. For example, if you take our area, if you grow ragi, which is a millet, finger millet,
right?
Okay, along with ragi, okay, we grew field beans. Along with that one, we grew, okay, what you call, let me say, sesame. Okay, we grew a lot of feed required for rearing cows. everything was integrated in the same cropping pattern, but that is lost now. Okay, now either we grow ragi, either we grow sesame, so now these kind of thoughts have come in. That is where the monoculture systems have crept into the country. So we try to copy the Western systems. Westerners have realized they're trying to really move into diversified farming systems while we continue to copy what they did, and they realize their mistakes, but we are not still there.
And so when we talk about, say, farmer suicides, you mentioned that. Please take me through it. Like, why does it happen? What are the reasons? And are the reasons different in different geographies? For example, are the reasons for farmer suicide different in the northern India than what's in the southern India, or say the western or the eastern part of the country? Or is it same everywhere?
No, the farmer suicide challenge is the same. It's basically fundamentally why farmer suicide happens is non-viability of farming. Let us define what is non-viability of a farming. Farmer actually grapples with a lot of factors which are not under his control.
Right.
For example, weather is not under his control. Market is not under his control. Pest management is not under his control. And soil management is not under control. None of it is under control. But everybody wants to sell something to him. Seed company comes and sells seeds to him. Fertilizer company comes and sells a fertilizer to him. Tractor company comes and sells a tractor to him. Everybody, spraying company comes and sprays to him. But nobody ensures after selling all those things, he makes money out of that.
True.
So that is where actually he is getting into doom loop, where is externally heavy inputs and market is not under his control. So what is happening? Now he is getting into a borrowing habit where he borrows a lot of money to do cropping. If the crop fails, he is into trouble. If market fails, he is into trouble. Every pattern of, in farmer suicides in the country, they are the same, where viability of the farming is in question. Therefore, farmer borrows heavily and gets into debt trap and gets into suicide loops.
And like as we sit here, like we are seeing like huge protests in Delhi going right now, and like Delhi is like almost shut down on like tomorrow. What are your thoughts on it? Like, what is your understanding that why is it happening? Who is at fault, or what's the challenge that farmers are facing?
See, a lot of things farmers are not understanding, in the country right now. For example, there is a legacy issue of, procurement systems in the country, which are dictated by the government.
Procurement systems means,
for example, if you grow gehu or if you grow rice, you go to a procurement center of government and you sell it to the government, at a rate, what is called either through MSP system or through market mechanisms, you sell. That is not a right system for the farmer. Farmer has no saying on dictating price of his crops. Today, a farmer, can't, even he can sign farmer forward contracts. For example, if I go to a farmer and say, irrespective of, what is the price in the market, I will pay you fixed price. Can you grow for me? Even if he signs, there's no way to enforce it. There are problems both the sides. I think government is grappling how to solve these issues. Farmers are not understanding what's really happening. So that's exactly the Delhi challenge, what you see right now, where farmers are not taken into confidence on what government wants to do. In fact, government, all the intentions, they want to do good. But taking them into confidence and explaining what's happening is what actually is missing. That's exactly what this protest is all about.
Can you explain, like in simplicity, that what's happening? So say if there's a farmer who's hearing you today, could understand that this is what's happening.
For example, take paddy as an example. I want to give a paddy as a great example, In our area, MSP, what is called support price from government, they buy paddy, at 16 rupees per kg for farmer. Farmer grows and is very happy to give it to the MSP procurement system of the government. Can farmer think other options? Will I be able to sell that one at 20 rupees, 25 rupees, 30 rupees? What options he has today? None. So what government is trying to tell is, can I break farmers this conundrum of where to sell, at what cost to sell? Can we get a lot more competition to that space? Rather than 16 rupees, if there's a competition, can you get 20 rupees? Can you get 25 rupees? That is what government is trying to solve. Farmer is not understanding. What farmer is saying that government should support with better MSP. Can, rather than 16 rupees, can you do 20 rupees, 25 rupees, 30 rupees? It won't work. One more example I'll give you. Where you are sitting, it is copra. This area is a copra belt. Copra means coconut is dried. Okay, then that sweet copra is sold. Okay, right now at one point of time, 1 quintal of copra was sold at 21,000 rupees. Right now, 1 quintal of copra is 8,000 rupees running rate in market in Tiptur. It is the biggest sweet copra market in the country, Tiptur, where you are sitting. MSP, minimum support price, is 11,500 rupees. What government is doing is buying the copra from farmers at 11,500, selling at the market at 8,500. It is actually a disservice to the farmer. The price will never go above 11,500 because government is buying at a higher price, selling at a lower price. So therefore, the entire economy of that one collapses. Market economics actually collapses. Government wants to break this, clean this one up, give little bit mechanism to farmer where farmer can go and sell at 15,000, 17,000, 20,000. It's possible. But the systems we need to create, reimagine. So this is what is happening. One example of paddy, another example of our own area, what's happening.
That is very interesting. And I hope that with time that maybe, farmers will also understand, because I also feel that for them, it's a very new thing. And that's why maybe that resistance to change is coming. But I genuinely hope that everything works out in their favor as well. Also, sir, like as you talked about, say, Tiptur, give me some more geographies in India now, like with farming. And like, for example, are there any other places where any particular, say in Tiptur, we have coconut. So any other geography, what kind of farming that particular place practices, any kind of case study you have from that kind of geography?
See, for example, if you take Mandya district, it's in state of Karnataka. Okay, and neighboring district of Tumkur. Okay, here there are two predominant crops. One is sugarcane. Second thing is paddy, because a lot of water is there. Sugarcane and paddy actually technically killed Mandya district.
Why?
Because it's monoculture. Farmer never gets paid on time by sugar industries. Okay, and paddy, these are the only two crops they got used to. They are called lazy crops. You just throw it, they come, and whatever price it comes, he takes. But lot of external inputs. You go to any farmer in Mandya district, ask him what is his borrowing. Everybody has got 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs debts. So that is what is a great example where the monocropping systems destroy the economics of a farm. So I told you, we stretch the economics aspect of it, we stretch the technology aspect of it. Diversity is not there, ecology is not there. So this is exactly how it goes. A great example is this. Gangavati belt, Ballari in and around. This is where we grow one of the best paddies at some point of time. The paddy, it becomes so monoculture now that paddy growing in Gangavati belt is no more profitable, because huge external inputs are required now to grow the same amount of paddy what it was used to happen around 20 years back. So the Gangavati belt is now no more profitable in terms of paddy growing. People do it because there's no other option, but it is economically not viable. Vidarbha, great example of Vidarbha. Vidarbha is on cotton. The cotton, a lot of farmer suicides do happen in Vidarbha region. Why? Because of this exact reason, where inputs costs are extremely high. Crop output is not guaranteed. And market is not guaranteed. The farmer is actually losing out. So this, if at all we need to change this, there are two changes are required. One is fundamentally how the farming is done. We need to diversify the farming. Second thing is how the market economics work. Give a little bit of a freedom to farmer. Create systems wherein which he can command better pricing for his commodity.
And so do you feel like, because when we talked about, say, sugarcane, like the sugar industry, so we are seeing a lot of push towards, ethanol and all these things. So is it also a push for the farmers to, say, enter into this monoculture space? And similarly with paddy, so and rice. So we see this, stubble and straws kinds of things coming out. So does stubble provide like an economic opportunity for the farmer today, or do you feel like there's still a gap in the market?
See, there are two parts. How the commodities are grown today. You take sugar industry. You establish what you call a command area. There's a sugar mill. For that sugar mill, you establish a command area that government actually defines. This is the sugar mill's command area, where sugar mill advances the money to farmer to grow sugar cane for them.
Right.
Once the sugar cane is grown and given to the sugar mill deduct that money from what is this one, remaining money they pay to the farmer. That is the exact setup. But over a period of time, what has happened is The sugar mills, they're not making money. They're not able to pay farmers on time. So now it is when the command you established, you may force them to grow. Now they are not getting paid on time, not getting paid with a better
Even
prices.
with the ethanol push and everything.
Everything, they are not making money. No farmer is making money, in the sugar industry. So that is one area where farmer is struggling.
And how can we innovate the space? Like, how can farmers make, like, again, with if they grow diversity and ecology, that would be the way they make
Yes,
money.
we need to diversify. One is sugarcane. Other things, at least 4 or 5 crops should have an outlay so that actually you can reach to market, and ensure there's no single dependency on sugarcane, what is growing. That is not happening right now. The second part, you raise the question of stubble. Stubble burning. Why stubble burning is happening? It's a failure of government extension outreach program. Stubble is end of the day, it's a carbon. You're burning and leaving the carbon to air. Actually, the carbon it is sequestered. The stubble needs to go to the soil so that the soil microorganisms can be built better. Government has done a lot of initiatives giving tractor implements where the stubble can be cut and mulched, and put it back. But it's a cost to farmer. Farmer never does it. There are no demonstrated models where stubble, putting back to the soil, and showing the economic benefits. The farmer doesn't understand. Easy is just fire it. That's what is happening. And we are losing the sequestered carbon. Again, going back to the air. Second aspect is, of course, pollution aspects, where people are really struggling. It's a great example where we can put our minds and thoughts on very simple solutions can be put in place.
What, according to you, are solutions for this?
A very simple solution is, let us take stubble burning as a good example. I believe immediately we need to pick up around 4 or 5 villages where go a little bit deeper, where stubble burning is happening, and stop the stubble burning, show them that putting the stubble back to soil, he has better chance of growing a next better crop. The demonstrations doesn't exist today. Then
economics will be better if the better crop is grown.
Correct, exactly. 4 or 5 villages, we need a modeling is required. Immediately, it is not a big rocket science. It's very simple. Government with its power, it can clearly say no burning in these villages, and put extension staff, demonstrate them how to put that entire stubble back to soil.
Is it an easier process? Like, as we talked about, like, a lot of technology today is involved. Like, how can farmers really adapt to that technology? Because considering that technology also comes at a cost. And as we were talking about, technology is expanding, and like similarly at the other end. So how do we bridge that gap then?
See, we need to clearly demonstrate, for example, stubble as an example, let's take it. A good tractor implement where along with when harvesting happens, the stubble is actually chaffed and put back to the soil. Now that's a technology. But we need to take it to farmers and demonstrate. So that is missing in the country right now. We are subsidy driven. We are saying, if you buy this implement, I will give you a subsidy. But easy using it. No questions, no answers to that. As had been demonstrated that it is useful, no, there are no answers to that. We just give a subsidy and we say, such an instrument is given, now it is left to farmers. No, it doesn't work like that. We need to go, this is called an extension outreach program. Government's actually putting a lot of money there, but we don't go to farmers and demonstrate these aspects. That's the reason you see this entire stubble issue.
I think what you mentioned is quite interesting, because what I have come across as solutions for stubble is collecting stubble from farmers and then, sort of like maybe making biofuel, or even, like packaging particular boards. And even all these companies are also struggling with sort of setting the supply chain. And if they have the raw material, then, who's going to source them, technology expansion. But what you are mentioning is quite different. Like, it's actually very simple. Like, it just goes into the soil. So no supply chain needed, nothing needed at all. It's just that awareness needed.
See, the centralized thinking process of problem solving, we should actually forget it. We should decentralize solutions. Solutions actually exist in the site itself. But if you start trying to, centralize that thinking, it is very expensive. Second thing is they are not ecologically sound. So that's the challenges we face when looking into a farm design. Or a simple example is why farmer or at a farm level, government extension doesn't have a target to say soil organic carbon needs to go up year on year. No government agency has a target. If they had a target, they would have gone and demonstrated this stubble was a great means to increase the soil organic carbon. They would have solved it, but nobody thinks like that.
Do you think this is an opportunity for startups wanting to enter this space?
See, it is rather than a startup problem. Actually, it's a farmer as an entrepreneur. He has to think what is his best interest, in my opinion. Okay, startups going and doing there, there's not much to be done. We need to just educate farmers, put that entire stubble, chaff it, okay, and put it back to soil. He has got a better chance of growing a good crop.
I heard this somewhere. So we had like a few conversations on farmers and stubble burning. There was a conversation with someone, and that person said, and he's again a very knowledgeable person when it comes to this space. So he said that can't things like this be done? Like in India, we complain about unemployment. Like there's a time for say example during Punjab, Haryana. We earlier people used to like individually they used to pluck out the stubble and everything. So can we have like special trains where the laborers and the people could just go onto the fields and remove it. But today we have mechanized it. So do you think that's a possible solution, or do you think no?
No. So we still need to localize it. See, this is not very big. See, each farmer holding 5 acres, 10 acres of land. With a simple instrument, we can put the stubble back to soil. It is not a very rocket science, okay? But there's no intent of making it happen at a ground level. That's the problem.
And so do you feel that better farming can actually reverse climate change?
Very much. You need to really acknowledge farming is the biggest carbon sequester. If you do proper farming, we can sequester more carbon. Okay, what is sequestering of carbon? It's the carbon which is there in the air. You just collect it and put it into soil, which is a mechanism to do this one better rather than farming. For example, we lost our grasslands because grasslands were biggest carbon sequester. Okay, we are losing our forests. They were sequestering carbon. Now we are losing. Okay, we are losing our farming methods where there's a huge tree integration ecosystem existed in farming. We forgot in name of monoculture. Now we bought this one and sequestering actually has come down. We need to reimagine our farming, okay, to make them more environmental resilient. And there's no other better way than doing better farming to sequester carbon.
And do you have like any say success stories at Akshayakalpa? Because like also please give me the numbers now, like with how many farmers you have worked with. And is there any specific, success story of a farmer that is personally very close to your heart?
So we need to define what is a success, first of all, okay? Fundamental success, what we believe, okay, in Akshayakalpa is last 14 years, we have taken our soil organic carbon to around 3.6%. When we started this entire, initiative, when we measured soil organic carbon in these farms, it was 1%. At 0.5% of soil organic carbon soil, you declare them as deserts. So in India, soil organic carbon in soils today is less than 1%. So we are very, very close to becoming deserts. So therefore, we need to take the soil organic carbon, towards 6% if we need to do a proper farming ecosystem. The challenge with soil organic carbon is it depletes. It depletes. For example, microbes, will work on the carbon and they will break it down. Sun, will break it down. So therefore, again and again, you need to have farming systems evolved at a farmer level to make sure the soil organic carbon is going up. It is not coming down. That is one change we have made in all of the Akshayakalpa farms. So average soil organic carbon is around 3.6%. Second part, what we have done is, how do we get youngsters into farming? So that's what it is. At an average, Akshayakalpa farmer, we pay 100,000 rupees per month as a payment to each of the farmers for the produce. So that is a change what we have bought in. And farmers who started with 5 years, 6 years back, they earn 3 lakh to 4 lakh to 5 lakh rupees on a monthly basis. That is a change what we have bought in to entire farming ecosystem. 1,200 farmers we are working today in 1,200 villages in 5 districts. Each farmer earning 100,000 rupees. Each farmer has become a role model to that village in terms of his lifestyle, in terms of his earning capacity. How is he looking after his parents? How is his housing? How he travels? Where he sends his children to school? And overall living condition of him, has become a role model to that village. All his practices are being copied by others in the village. That's exactly how the changes we have brought in. What you need to really understand this one is, we have not worked with millions of farmers, just 1,200 farmers in 14 years. In 1,200 villages, making them role models. You need to really see what these 1,200 farmers have generated as a business. These 1,200 farmers today, they have done a 300 crore business annually. This is what the impact Akshayakalpa has done. Akshayakalpa is a 300 crore company with 1,200 farmers. You can see the amount of changes what we have done in farming ecosystem in terms of productivity, animal productivity, soil productivity, vegetables and greens, beekeeping, backyard poultry, all of it integrated. This is the ecosystem what we create. I talked about diversity and ecology. This is where we focused on. Extremely diverse farms, ecologically very, very focused work. What it has done is, it has ensured is economics. We didn't focus on economics. We focused on diversity and we focused on ecology. Economics came automatically. We used technology to measure what is happening and give inputs to farmers. This is what we have done. So 1,200 success stories in 14 years, each earning at an average, 100,000 rupees per month.
So this must be like such a special feeling inside. Like, I know because you mentioned at lunch that there were so many times when you were almost near to bankruptcy. So please share that story with me. And the reason I'm asking you is that a lot of times we start on to create some impact, but as your own journey had challenges, so everyone faces that. But today, the kind of impact you are creating, for me, that's a perfect climate action story from India, because you're giving people better life, empowering people, helping them put an extra plate on their food table, and also practicing sustainable farming. So please share your own journey, that, how did you, from bankruptcy to today, building this company and also empowering other people to earn better.
See, Akshayakalpa is a not much different story than any other startup. I would say most of the startups do start with an idea. But our idea was going back to villages and trying to groom them farmers to be entrepreneurs. We didn't know, what is in store for us. It's a 27 people from Wipro. It's a crowd-funded initiative. Can you believe it?
Crowd-funded.
Akshayakalpa was a crowd-funded initiative. 2010 when we started, it was funded by 27 people, my friends from Wipro. Funded Akshayakalpa.
And so if we can give the number, like...
we started with around 1.5 crores we pooled. We got started. And within a year, we ran out of money. Then we went back to the same people and asked, hey, what to do? We ran out of money. The same people again gave 1.8 crores. Again, they gave money. That's the only money we raised, first 9 years. With that one, we survived, up and down, 6 times into bankruptcy by 2019. Almost close to bankruptcy.
When you were towards bankruptcy, did you ever feel that, you were successful, you were at Wipro doing things? So were there any time, was there a doubt inside you, is this going to be profitable? Is this going to make it, is this worth it?
Never ever. We knew it was a very hard journey. And first year itself, we realized, this is once we thought the problem space, what we are trying to address is too huge. We need to break it down. We need to make smaller, start attacking that problem. What is the first problem? Solve the cash flow issues for farmer. Start into looking into soil. Then agriculture as a whole ecosystem evolved. It has taken 14 years to evolve. We started with the dairy, taking care of the soil. Now we are doing backyard poultry. We are doing, honey beekeeping, vegetables, greens, fruits, everything the farmer is doing. We are given a market access. We never had doubt in this approach, but we know it will take time. But a lot of people didn't understand. For example, we were not able to raise money for first 9 years of our journey. We couldn't raise money because people didn't understand what are we trying to do. Why are you going to working in farming and soil? Trying to change that. While the commodities are available, you can just buy them and sell it. No, that's not the whole idea. Unit economics at a farm level were never adding up. To solve that one, we need to work with the farmer. This exactly was the journey of 9 years, first 9 years, in fact.
Like, this is to me very, inspiring, and the amount of resilience you have kept, and the way you said, not even one time, you felt like giving up. I think that's when you believe in your idea and it's going to work out. Also, we saw the products, and I also came to know that your products do not have any additives. So, sir, please talk about that. How are your products different from any other product available in the market? And added to that question, sir, do you ever feel restless or anxious with the competition? Because today in India, we have biggest of the biggest brands, and those are the packets that are available at every dairy shop. How do you handle that competition? Do you ever feel that anxiousness that I want to be there?
So the first question is the philosophical question. The philosophical line what we have taken is, Akshayakalpa will never make any product which has added sugar. Which is anything which is artificial, be it emulsifiers, or preservatives, or any of those. We will not make any products with added this one. That is the philosophical line we have taken. That's how the entire product range we have put in place. They are very simple: milk, ghee, butter, cheese, paneer, okay, buttermilk. Okay, these are the products, okay, what we are making. And in fact, any of the new products, okay, you might have eaten our yogurt. Okay, yogurt is added with honey. There's no sugar in that. Okay, so a lot of yogurts in the market today are full of sugar. Okay, we are not able to make, let me say, sweet lassi because we tried, okay, explaining people, hey, sweet is not good for you. But there are challenges, okay? But philosophically, we are decided that we will not add anything outside, be it a chemically or an artificial one, okay, or a sugar. We'll never ever add. So our products doesn't do that. So coming back to competition, see, we need to really compete with yourself, okay, not with somebody else outside. So what is that, okay, you're competing with? You're trying to really see how the soil productivity is going up, okay, every year on year. Farmer income levels are going up. What you need to worry is with your customer, not the competition. So we need to really educate your customer saying, what are you doing? Okay, can the customer support you? The way I really look at farming is, value for a farming now gets created in the farm. Value of that one is gets realized in the market where there's a paying customer for that. You need to connect both of them. That's what Akshayakalpa is doing. Last 1 year, we have bought 10,000 consumers visiting our farms. We should not worry about competition. We should keep, okay, focused on your customer and farmer as a customer and also consumer as a customer. Both of them request an ultra focus to make this entire. So there's no point in worrying about competition. Competition will come, competition will go, people will copy the model. It's all fine. I think it's part of the game. But your focus on a customer is what actually should define who you are.
I think that's really, like a good thing that you said. And I also read this somewhere, like we have this blue ocean and red ocean strategy where the people who succeed are the ones who focus on the customers, because that's when we improve. If we focus on the competition, we will just be focused on outbeating them. But on customer side, we improve. Also, so like last two questions would be that the milk packaging, or say even the curd packaging, a lot of that is packaged into plastic, if I call it right. So is it sustainable? So what are your thoughts on it?
See, plastic as a means to packaging, okay, has existed for a while.
Right.
There are two ways to attack this problem, okay? One thing is you are packing now. So can you collect it back and recycle responsibly? That's the brand should do. That's the brand responsibility. Anything what you put into market, you collect it and put it back into proper way to recycle. For example, we recollect, okay, all our packaging material from our consumers and work with recyclers and recycle it responsibly.
Are you able to collect, like, is there a percentage that, for example...
Yes, so right now we have reached around 25% of our customers are giving it back. It requires a lot of consumer education.
Right.
How do you give it back? How do you collect it? What cost you collect it? There are a lot of challenges like this. This is one aspect. Second thing is, can we innovate on packaging to move away from plastics? For example, you see this packaging, okay, this packaging, okay, this is called paperboard, okay. In this paperboard packaging, okay, is it possible we can innovate? 99% of this one is paper, okay. There's still some amount of plastic is there, but amount of plastic packaging which happens, okay, that is very, very less. So the packet, what you see there, okay, it is a 6-layer paper packaging, okay. It is okay. It is Tetra Pak, okay. So this is paperboard. This is purely made from paperboard. This is a fresh milk. So these innovations are possible. So the way we are looking at, okay, as Akshayakalpa, an organization is, can we innovate and try to move away from plastic? While that innovation continues to happen, can we responsibly collect all the things in the market and responsibly recycle or repurpose? That's what we are trying to do.
And I think that's a really good way to approach it. But thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having us and thank you for doing this. I think you're inspiring an entire generation in India. And I love the impact you create. I love the way you are empowering farmers, their families, and their kids, because I feel that when you empower a family, their generations are empowered. So thank you for doing that for India. And thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you very much. I think, again, I appreciate you coming down to this remote place and looking at our work, okay, and giving an opportunity to share our views. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.